So I sat down to watch the 2020 Children of the Corn movie remake, or adaptation, or whatever you want to call it. It's so bad, even Wikipedia neglected to do a detailed plot summary for it. This movie actually made the 1984 Children of the Corn movie look okay. And you know how I feel about that movie. Click here if you haven't seen that review. I am going to be making fun of the Children of the Corn movie. If you don't like it, and you come into the comments and you're like, I don't like it, you left this out, or you didn't do this or that, or I'm making fun of the movie, get over it. The plot for both of these movies is about children sacrificing adults to a cornfield demon. Yeah, you heard me right. Corn. Corn! The 1984 Children of the Corn followed John Connor's mom and a wish, Michael Bolton, traveling to Seattle when they come across little corn killers in the small town of Gatlin, Nebraska. A little 9-year-old becomes the spokesman for a little demon called He Who Walks Behind the Rose, who lives in a nearby dying cornfield. That demon convinces this miniature prepubescent dum-dum and all his little corn friends to kill all the adults in town. 'Cause apparently who better to take care of all this corn than small children? Fast forward to the 2020 Children of the Corn movie, and we get this same plot line, yet with dumber situations. It's a wonder anybody made this movie at all. Now don't you hate me, don't you get mad at me. The movie starts with this weird kid coming out of the corn, grabbing a knife, and killing all the adults in this orphanage. The police are then called, who show up, and the only solution they come up with, the only solution, is to gas all of these children inside that orphanage. Really? Like that's the best you can do? Really? Like that's the only solution? The only survivor was Eden, because she was outside and eventually wandered off into the cornfield. A couple of years pass, and we find the adults in town holding a meeting to give up corn. Corn? I can't give you up. I just can't give up on you, corn. Well, you have to, because Big Corn came in with all their chemicals and killed all the corn in the town. Little Eden is there with her corn cult, silently led by Corn Demon, who only now goes by He Who Walks. And oh my gosh, when you see this dude walk, oh, you'll shuck and laugh until your corn husks fall off. What? I don't know. Anyway, Eden's there, and she's upset that the adults in this town didn't ask her little kid opinion, because she's a little kid. Eden and the killer corn kids trap all the adults in jail while they throw a little corn fiesta. Eden then gasses all the adults with the same gas from the beginning of the movie, but instead of killing them, it only knocks them out so they can all be moved down inside this giant pit. This giant pit, I mean, look at this freaking thing. It's like 8 feet deep and huge. This movie then goes on to show us some of the stupidest freaking deaths even imaginable. Eden has a bulldozer fill up this hole. A hole this size would take like a couple hours to fill up. All the parents have to do is when the dirt gets dumped in and the bulldozer goes out to get more dirt, climb on top. When it drops it in, climb on top. When it drops it in, climb on top. Drops it in, climb on top. Eventually, you're gonna be on top of that hole, and you can get out real easy. It's simple. But to further this horrendous plot, they just die. We're back at the jail and see these 3 adults left alive. The main character, you know, this girl, her dad, Eden's old adoptive parent, who, surprise, surprise, turns out to be a pedo. He horribly dies, so who really cares? And this reporter from the big old city of Omaha, Nebraska. That girl's dad gets taken out into the cornfield, and well, instead of being a grown man who fights against little children, he dies. Eden and her killer corn dogs lead the reporter to the barn where she's eventually drug out by He Who Walks. Look at him, walking. A 12-foot corn stalk. Ooh, it's so scary. Eden douses this girl in gas, but she gets away. All she has to do to escape is fling her gas-covered arm like that. And all the little droplets come onto the kids, and they all go, ah! So while they're falling back like they got hit by a tidal wave of gasoline, she gets away, leaving a long, dripping gas trail behind her. She finds a car in the cornfield, which is also leaking gas. After the car won't start cliche, she manages to get it started. She recklessly drives through the cornfield, coming to a stop on this road. Somehow, some freaking how Evil Eden is in the backseat of the car. Ain't no freaking way this kid was able to get in the backseat of that car prior to it being taken or after she stopped on the road. Ain't no freaking way. This girl who doesn't smoke and hasn't smoked throughout the whole movie requests a smoke while she's still covered in gasoline. She pushes the lighter in, and for like a good minute and a half, the two wait in this moment of absolute non-suspense. Once the lighter pops, nothing happens except the two get out and stand behind the car. The girl uses this lighter to light this gas trail. It's been like 20 minutes since she ran through that cornfield and then got out of the car. And I mean, it's been a while. I'm not really an expert on how long gasoline can be flammable once it hits dirt. I don't know, but I'm gonna assume this is way too long. The gas trail lights the cornfield on fire and snakes through the cornfield all the way back to the barn, which then explodes. As the cornfields burn, the walking cornstalk demon leads Eden back into the fire. Even though this looks so stupid, it's a teensy weensy bit better than the 1984 corn demon. The next day, this girl walking through the burnt cornfield when she turns to find a burnt up Eden saying, "Nothing ever really dies in the corn. Nothing ever dies in the corn." And then attacks her with like corn husks or corn vines or The end of this movie does raise some questions though, like where did the crap did she come from? I mean, look at this. There's nowhere to hide. And just what's that supposed to mean? Nothing ever dies in the corn. What? When did corn magically get the ability to keep anything in it alive? When and why is corn even synonymous with evil? Nobody knows. Hit me up in the comments if you've watched this movie or the other 9 or 10 Children of the Corn films. After this, the 1984 Children of the Corn looks pretty good right now, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't it? Watch this review and let me know what you think about it in the comments.